Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name's Luke and I do perfume reviews. In this video, I want to touch on a couple of points that I've been thinking about recently, discussing with my friends even. I want to share how my purchasing habits have changed and how I've reached a new stage in my perfume journey. I always say that I don't consider myself a collector. I only have what I intend to use to wear, fragrances that bring me joy. I believe that a well-curated, personalized collection can't be built in just a few months. It's a process, and for some it takes years, if not decades. If you're simply buying what the big influencers are raving about, then you're only keeping them and the expensive niche brands in business. You're not doing this for yourself. Just my opinion. Blind buying 10 bottles might bring you some joy, but you really have to ask yourself, why are you doing it? Are you filling a void? Is it fear of missing out? And I see this daily from influencers who keep buying and decluttering and buying more and decluttering even more. And I really doubt that would bring me joy. I prefer to be mindful about my purchases. I avoid blind buying and I regularly check discounter websites and even second-hand websites for good deals when I'm in the market for something. I'm okay with buying a pre-loved bottle of perfume as long as it's from a brand that I can authenticate myself and as long as it's full or at least 95% full. When you buy vintage, you have to be careful. It's best to find sealed bottles because once a bottle is opened and left sitting for 20 years, especially in direct sunlight or in a bathroom, it may expire. I actually made a video on the pros and cons of buying vintage bottles versus newer formulations of vintage perfumes, and I'll link it below and on the screen. Another point that I want to touch on today is large collections, hoarding and overconsumption. I'm not someone who desires a massive collection, and by massive I don't mean 100 bottles. I'm going through a phase where buying loads of things simply doesn't excite me anymore. I used to buy plenty of skincare, clothes and perfume, and to be honest, I'm kind of over it. I've cut down on buying skincare and clothing. I only buy what I really need or if I need to repurchase something that I've run out of. I still have a pile of clothes with tags still on, and most of us probably do, and it's horrible. It's overconsumption. But let's get back to perfume. Since September, I've only added 2 fragrances to my collection, 2 that had been on my wish list for ages. And at this point, I still have a wish list, but I don't really desire anything. I'm in no rush to acquire the fragrances on my wish list simply because I'm happy with what I have and I've found a new way to enjoy my fragrances. I appreciate my collection and I also enjoy talking about it on YouTube, but I won't buy a ton of things just to have something new to show you. I won't do that. I also plan to talk more about perfume history because people seem to really enjoy it. Now I see perfumes as beautiful objects of art that bring me joy. Researching perfume history brings me joy. If I had 400, 500 or even 800 perfumes like some influencers, I would feel pressured to use and wear everything, which would make me anxious and stressed out. And that would be a sign that I was doing something wrong, something very wrong. Mindful spending will save you money and reduce stress. I believe the best step towards mindfulness, particularly when it comes to buying perfume, is knowing yourself and your tastes. You have to be honest with yourself. For example, green chypres aren't really my favorite scent profile, but I still like to wear them from time to time, so I only need about 2 or 3 bottles, not 10 or 15. However, I do need 10 Florientals and Orientals because I absolutely love them. I don't particularly like aquatic fragrances, so maybe owning 1 or 2 is more than enough for me. My advice to anyone would be try to reflect on your tastes and become aware of your spending habits. Awareness is the first step to recovery. The second step is knowing your tastes and your financial goals as well. Prioritize. Knowing your preferences and avoiding random purchases on a whim, guilty as charged, but instead getting something you've wanted for ages will help you be more sustainable and avoid overconsumption. You won't have to deal with buyer's remorse, which can be quite stressful. Once you get the perfume from your wish list, letting yourself wear it and enjoy it for a few days will also help you be more sustainable. You won't be searching for your next fix. It's a vicious cycle. Buying and decluttering is also a vicious cycle, and shopping addiction is very real, and it can become serious if you don't take control. And I'm guilty of it myself, as I said, I've got a wardrobe full of clothes that don't fit me and that I don't wear. Skincare is now under control, clothing is under control, but perfume is still an indulgence I allow myself as long as I'm mindful and make informed decisions about my purchases. And I completely understand that some YouTubers, I won't mention any names, but some of them are doing this for content and they need a huge collection to make that content. But still, isn't this something that should bring you joy? Only you, no one else. When you start feeling anxious about the amount of stuff you have, and then you start decluttering like crazy, and then a month later you start buying again like crazy, then, or even worse, when perfume is making you go broke, you need to stop and reassess the situation. And my situation wasn't even that bad. I think I'll end this video here for the sake of brevity. I could go on, but I believe I've said what I wanted to say. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts on collecting, overconsumption, influences, anything related down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice rest of the day. Bye.